In a wee speech, Kathleen gets uptight and she said to me, "How long is this going to be?" I said, "Dear, don't worry. I've cut it back, so it's now down to 2 hours, 35 minutes.
I decided another 5 minutes.
This wee poem by Robert Service is a tribute to volunteers, and it can have been written for folk like Jim Pierce. It goes like this: "If you and I should chance to meet, I guess you wouldn't care. I'm sure you'd pass me in the street as if I wasn't there. You'd never look me in the face, my modest muck to scan, because I'm just a commonplace and ordinary man. But then it may be that you are too a guy of every day, who does the job he's paid to do, aye, and who takes the wife his pay, who makes a home and kids his care, who works with pick or pen. My pal, I guess we're just a pair of ordinary men. We plug away, we make no fuss, our feet are never crowned. But then it's common folk like us that make the world go round. And as we steer a steady course by God's predestined plan, hats off to that almighty force, the ordinary man, or indeed woman," dedicated to Jim Pierce. We're here today, ladies and gentlemen, to acknowledge and to say thank you to one man, Jim Pierce, who has made his own indelible mark on the community here in Kilbirnie and Glengarnock, and indeed the wider Garnock Valley. It would be remiss right at the start, however, not to say thank you to Kilbirnie and Glengarnock Community Council for organising this annual event, and perhaps equally important, for all the volunteering work that they do during the course of the year on behalf of this community. That is really important too, simply to take the time and trouble to say thank you to folk, because that's a great motivator for almost everyone. It's also important at the time of celebrating the special contribution of Jim Pierce to community life here, to remember the many folk in Kilbirnie and Glengarnock who give selflessly of their time and talents, volunteering for so many different groups and organisations: Scouts, Girl Guides, football teams, youth groups, Duke of Edinburgh Award Group, church groups, Women's Rural, Cathy Solace, North Ayrshire Food Bank, those of course who visit older and infirm folk on a regular basis, volunteers who give of their time and talents in charity shops locally, those who are good at caring for neighbours, just taking the time to drop in and see that a neighbour is all right. These are all important things. And then of course we have all the good which is done by the local churches and the many church organisations locally, the community council, tenants and residents groups. So this list is but the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen, an iceberg of fantastically cool volunteering, which makes the local community vibrant and thriving, and a good place for people to work, to live, and indeed to socialise. And no doubt all of you could add to that list, and that's a good thing, because it shows the level of volunteering which does take place locally here in Kilbirnie and Glengarnock. So on behalf of all of us here tonight, I would like to say a very genuine thank you to everyone, the ordinary folk of Kilbirnie and Glengarnock who volunteer in this community. The old adage remains forever true: volunteers are precious, not because they are unpaid, but because they are priceless. You probably don't know this, but Jim Pierce and Dan, in their journey to where they are today, have also seen the lows in life. When you see the magnificent girder shop and the associated campus of buildings on the former steelworks site, you might just think that Jim has had it all. Well, the truth is that he has had to struggle and has experienced real demoralising hardship in that uncertain journey to where he is today. And no doubt Anne can vouch for that, and the folk here like Norrie and Rose Brown can also vouch that the journey towards success in business can be lined with many pitfalls, struggles, worry, sometimes leaving folk homeless and virtually penniless. So because folk seem to have what might be seen as special today, it didn't come easily. What I've found inspirational about Jim Pierce is that through that journey, he has remained determined, focused, and in a pick myself up and let's try again attitude to life. Put simply, he never took his eye off the ball until he was eventually successful, and that was a long and difficult journey. He has been doubly successful because in Anne he had the most wonderful support and encouragement, and they say that two heads are always better than one. Success is not simply a destination. Success is not something that we arrive at one day. It is indeed a journey. Success has everything to do with your individual day-to-day choices, your actions, your energy, your enthusiasm, your experiences, and your involvement with other folk. No matter how big or small, their success doesn't always come easily. Some folk define success as having more in life, more money, more recognition, more material items. I don't know how you define success, ladies and gentlemen, according to other people's standards. Or do you define success as feeling happy with who you are today and what you have in life now? Success is about being happy with your choices and being grateful for all that you have in your life today. Perhaps the most important definition of success is in raising a caring, loving, supportive family. And in that regard, the Pierce family have been outstandingly successful, passing on the standards imbued in Jim and Dan of their hard work, their determination, their organisational skills, their ability to do risk-taking, seeing the bigger picture, and being caring of others in life's uncertain journey. Jim and Dan have four of a family: Lynn, Derek, Petra, and of course Julie. And Julie's the one I know best because she is the most amazing, beautiful singer that you've ever heard. They also have 9 grandchildren, and like all grandparents, they simply love and dote on their grandchildren. Jim founded J&D Pierce Limited in 1976, and he officially retired in 2013, 37 long, hard-working years later, leaving a legacy of an industrial fabrication firm which is known and respected throughout the United Kingdom and abroad. J&D Pierce is also one of the largest employers in this area, and that really is very important for the local economy. Outside of work, Jim was one of the original sponsors of the Garnock Valley Pipes and Drums, who have become an absolute roaring success in terms of encouraging Garnock Valley young folk to take up piping as a hobby. Jim has donated the Christmas tree to Cllr Cross in Glengarnock each year for the last 15 years, bringing brightness, ambience and happiness to locals. Many people think the trees are from North Ayrshire Council. As well as donating the trees, Jim organises the lights in Glengarnock. North Ayrshire Council don't decorate Glengarnock because it is a residential area and because they are skint. As well as Christmas trees, he also dresses up as Santa in support of the Cllr Town Centre Management Initiative to light up the town event. And on the last Saturday of November, along with Kenneth Gibson MSP, they dress up as Santa and tour the town. I also know that when the lights have an issue, in other words, when they go out or don't work properly, Jim and Dan remove them and take them through to the supplier on the east coast of Scotland and get them fixed and returned. It really does go the extra mile to make sure that Cllr is nice and bright at Christmas. Jim sponsors Laid Side, Outside of Kilbirnie and Glengarnock, Jim sponsored the Beer Cars event last year, which was an absolute roaring success. And I think Laurie will persuade him that he'll be sponsoring it again